We know what's a big topic of Tom's game. Just as I was about to build it up, he's let me down.
Well, that's exactly the same start as he had in his semis against Hit and Patel. Break in off in that same corner pocket. His next break, he went in off in the other corner pocket. And he has been breaking phenomenally for a long time, but just today, it's been a bit sketchy.
Yeah, and if you're chippy, this is the ideal start you want.
Well, you'd like these, wouldn't you, Dom? These yellows?
I would, but I still think I'd find a way to go wrong. But I'll give it a good go. I might get 4 or 5 and then go wrong. I'll wait till the very end. At least I'll get value for money. But no, this is the ideal situation, and with that bottom yellow, as you saw, pot in, that made it pretty easy. He probably got up the table now for the one in the middle. And straight away he's making me look silly, which is good. It's a bit interesting. He's going to have some sort of a shot to play to either get from that ball up on the bulk line back down. Because he's sort of... So he's going to have to get somewhere where he is now, kind of blue spot area. You see someone like Shaun, he backs his potting so well. There's other players who maybe not quite as confident potting, they try and get right in behind this yellow, but for someone like Shaun, it's just give me a shot and I'll knock it in. And
point and click.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, and perfect start really for Shaun, and it's always good in a big final just to settle yourself, get that first frame on the board. Interesting to see how he breaks. I know he does change his break around quite a lot, and it's a perfect cue ball up and down the spots as straight as you can get, but no friends.
No, dry break for Chipperfield.
And at first glance these reds look pretty inviting for Tom.
Not an awful lot wrong with his break. I've seen quite a bit of that this week, of good breaks not being rewarded. Now it's Cousins.
He's got one tricky-ish ball which he just developed in that shot.
Yeah, in his semi-final against Patel, I have to say he was professional and did his job, and a couple of really good finishes here and there, but Hit and Patel had a chance pretty much every frame in that match.
Yeah, I didn't see any of the semi-finals, so but it was a good run from Hitan, and Jez Graham made the other semi-finals.
Yeah, but both finished 7-2.
Yeah, and both players, Jez and Hitan, are both. It feels like they've been around forever.
Yeah.
So good to see them two have a run. Key shot here for Tom. He's just got to get the pace right. If he just gets past sort of the middle line of the table, should be no issues. See, that's pretty perfect.
Yep, nicely done by Cousins. And this pretty much is a formality, and
what start?
We're going to go back to level.
I think that's a quite good example for amateurs and people watching at home. See Tom deliberately, from an early point in this clearance, he's left that red to the right centre for the 8 ball, knowing that by potting that he's naturally going to be on the 8 ball, which is why when he came down the table for the 3 reds, he made sure he went far enough for the red to the opposite middle, which made the pattern very, very much a formality. And this is the ideal start. And if it carries on like this, we're in for a treat.
Well, 2 top players, both on form. Down goes the black very quickly. Cousins draws level. Surely at some point when you're playing in 2 events in the same weekend, and you're winning and you're playing and you're winning and you're playing, it becomes then a test of stamina.
Yeah, it can take a lot out of you, and I think, without not to be taken out of context, but Tom's You know, he'll tell you himself he's no athlete.
We're all human at the end of the day, and you get tired. You've got to.
But to be fair to Tom as well, though, as much as you know, he wouldn't be the fittest guy on the circuit, but
It's mentally draining, isn't it? It's got to be.
But the way he plays, because it's well documented, he breaks so big. A lot of the time, a lot of his matches, he can sort of he can get through relatively easy. He can coast through just because. You know, like this, he's broke off, and look at the chance he's left himself. He's still got to knock the balls in, but at the level Tom Cousins plays at, this is a 99 out of 100 clearance, probably 100 out of 100 if you're being brutally honest, but like he's not having to really dig deep to knock some of these finishes in, so over a tournament, a couple of his matches might be, for him, pretty much a stroll in the park, just because of, you know, how big he breaks and how much the chances he gives himself, whereas someone who perhaps don't break big, who has to work hard for every ball, and you know they could take a lot more out of them mentally and physically. I did actually see Tom maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. As I was in town, I was on the way back, and he was walking back from I'm guessing from some sort of chippy or takeaway outlet. He had his food in his hand, so I thought he'd be perfectly prepared, as he'd prepare himself for any match.
That could be his ritual. Have a bite to eat, get yourself ready for your game. Been bad if you saw him staggering outside a pub.
Yeah, that
preparation.
That wouldn't be ideal, but it's been perfect pool so far. 3 chances, 3 clearances from both players. It's a huge break there from Shaun as well. I think Shaun will know what Tom's all about. They spent hours on the table together, and I can imagine they've had some pretty disgusting sets between them in practice when there's no pressure at all.
Yeah, that's a great split there from Chipperfield.
Take your pick. I think yellows are the option. Nicely controlled there, just to miss that yellow, which basically what he would have been doing there is just pot that first ball, land in the open, and only now will he be sort of planning his route.
Well, Cousins went 2-1 up, and I'm telling you now, very rapidly, this game is going to be level.
Yeah, you're going to...
barring some incredible, bizarre thing that to happen, like the lampshade fall off the ceiling and crash into the table.
He has landed slightly awkward there, because he's a bit flat on this yellow, so you can't really get too far away from the rail. So
no, he wanted his hand completely on the table for the next shot, so...
He's played a good shot there, just to get out enough.
He'll just screw back into the cushion and back out again, leave himself a long yellow into the corner. Just wants to make sure he doesn't fall short with this.
Yeah, you want to make sure you're the right side of straight, because if you're going... He's played for it in the middle, which is a little bit shy.
Could have done with a couple more inches on that one.
I don't know if the red on the side cushion as we look comes into play. Is he a bit too thick for that?
What's my comment I made a couple of seconds ago? Well, it's going to be 2-all.
Tell you what though, and I'm glad that's a much better shot than it looked.
Brilliant control with the cue ball there from Chipperfield.
I was just going to say, he's one of the best at them sort of shots where you just kill the cue ball. He's brilliant at that. I want to see a couple of balls tied up, or... Because if the balls are in the open, we've certainly realised at this point the boys aren't going to miss.
Well, he's come up dry.
There is a little bit of work to do in this finish. I think it will be reds. The 8 ball only goes into one pocket, really.
Plenty of people turned up to watch this one, and you can't blame them. This is right at the top of the box office.
Oh, we can get through the gap to this red. What a difference that makes. I didn't realise that was on.
We've got Ronan McCarthy in there.
Decky don't look to have approved of that
Declan
shot.
Brennan, of course, with his headphones around his neck. And they're all here to watch. That was a Northern Ireland contingent, and obviously the other side was Christophe Lambert. from France.
I think Shaun's landed a bit straight on this red to the corner. I think he wanted a bit of angle so that he could just roll towards the top centre as we look to play the red down the line. She's managed to get there anyway. So it's going to be red top left, red top right, red right centre. Oh, I'm not sure about that shot.
Too much side. Just spun off that rail and just put him in a bit of a predicament here.
I'm not sure. Was he trying to land straight to that red?
Well, I presumed he was. He's trying to plant now, a plant sort of cut plant into this right-hand centre pocket. He has a slightly big bag, so he could go off the other red, but...
Yeah, the red he's playing is going to track towards that yellow on the left side cushion as we look.
Hello. He's removing his chalk mark after the attempt at that last shot.
So first error of the match is from
It is.
Shaun.
It's taken 5 frames to come.
He's left Tom. Well, I feel like a broken tape recorder every time I ever commentate on Tom and he comes to the table. I feel like saying we expect him to clear up. And we do, because he's been playing at such a high level for his whole career really, but particularly these last 18 months he's been relentless, hasn't he? Just lost the cue ball here a touch. He wanted to... I'm pretty sure he wanted to be on the 2 yellows on the right hand side as we look, but perhaps he played that. He's down pretty quick, so he must have played it. He's never in a rush, is he, Tom?
No, it's a nice little stroll round the table for Cousins. Always at the same pace. I think he even does that at 15 seconds a shot.
Yeah, I see it. He played Luke Gilbert. He's obviously...
Oh yeah, he's knocked your pal out of both of them.
Yeah, he has
this
done,
week.
yeah. He has. Both close games. I think...
I know the first one was 7-5. When were they both 7-5?
Both 7-5, yeah. Yeah. And I know Tom was on the shot clock for one shot and he was just... He was looking around the table with about 6 seconds to go, but obviously he's a big guy, so it took him about 2 strides and he was round to his shocks. It's quite funny watching him just not panicking really. You see a lot of players, and I've been guilty of it myself, where you're sort of on the shot clock and you're a bit frantic and edgy, but you ain't gonna panic Tom, because he don't care enough to get panicked. Probably ran half a ball too far there, so
screw into the rail and back out again and put the black in the middle. He's going to come down the table,
top it into the same bag, and that's probably because he's so lazy he couldn't be bothered to move.
I like that. Well, down goes the black ball, and it's Cousins now goes into a 3-2 lead against Shaun Chipperfield.
Shaun will be looking for a big break. Obviously Shaun's made the first error, but the only sort of saving grace that he can take is it was kind of it weren't a breaker serve, so in that respect he can.
But then he's gone dry now though.
Yeah, it's not ideal. That's often the case after you've made an error. The balls don't forgive you. So it's going to be reds for Tom. He's got one difficult red, you can see, tied up with a yellow. He's got the red by the other yellow near the right centre, which only really goes into the corner, which is developed it straight away. And if that does pass the bottom left as we look now, he could go into his bad one. I think he's going to pot the outer one as we look and leave the angle to run into it off the top cushion, maybe 2 cushion. I'm a bit surprised at that.
Did he mean to come out that far? Because, fully agree with you, but I don't think he did, because he looks
No.
a bit disgusted with that, because like you said, Dom, we want to leave the angle on that to go off that top rail and with left hand side and come into yellow and red that are stuck together, and that opens up the frame for him.
I think, just judging by both Shaun's error and what Tom's just played there, it looks as if both players have... See, Tom's forced the angle there. The difference there was because he had to force it, he had no real control when he hits the yellow. If he had the natural angle, he could control the cannon better. But just going back to what I was saying there with Shaun's mistake in the last frame and Tom, looks like they're both getting a lot more out of the cue ball than they're expecting. Maybe the table's playing a bit quicker than they expected, perhaps. I mean, Tom should be used to it.
Well, one long pot now into this bottom right hand corner will set up the frame for Cousins.
Yeah, it was never in doubt. That was the first real test for Tom, but
And he passed it with flying colours.
it's just got to...
Pot 6 screws back out, both reds in the same pocket.
yeah, the key shot obviously then will be the last red to the 8 ball. Will he leave it in the middle, or... Oh, we don't want to be Chinese because he can't...
I think he can just drop this in dead weight and he still holds on to that red at the bottom, but it's made it a little bit more tricky because he would have liked a bit more angle, because
It's just
does the black go past the yellow into that corner?
he's hoping it does, because that makes this so much easier. If it doesn't, it's going to be the red for either 8 ball in the centre pocket or in the same pocket he's playing it. But judging by that, I mean, it must be tight, because
He's having a double check.
you'd have thought he'd have had his mind made up. I mean, the pockets, you can manipulate the pockets quite well on these tables.
I think he must do, judging by the way he's cueing this ball.
Oh,
I think he's okay because the cue ball hasn't gone right over the yellow, so he can get his cue to the middle of the white.
yeah, but if it's tight, the yellow you're cueing beside becomes a distraction, and it does make the shot. And you can see he's got half a bag
No,
there.
he's
I think
tight.
he's fine though. Oh, he's give us the full Phil Harrison there, isn't
Oh, absolutely.
he? He just had to shake his head for another 20 seconds. And not the best split. Possibly not the best rack.
No. Little pop in the air with the cue ball there as it struck the front ball. Disappointment on Tom Cousins' face.
And,
So chippy. I think he must be looking at the yellows. As he takes a red. Well done. Well done, me.
he's opted for reds. I don't know about you, it feels like quite a big frame to me, this one. It's gone so quick through the first 6 frames, but we're talking over 4-2 lead. I feel it's not panic stations for Shaun yet, but
No. Well, obviously that red near the left-hand middle, he's going to get an angle on that. And
he could break it out here now,
Yeah.
the bad red. Bottom rail.
oh, right.
There you go.
Yeah, clever shot. You outdid me there, Dom. My brain was fixated on him just dropping that in and playing the red into the centre, but
I think, can he play... He's going to play the red glancing off the yellow here. Can he run the cue ball into the yellow on the blue spot? And that's actually a really good shot.
it is. He's giving himself the angle to get down for the red on the bottom as well.
He's got such creativity, Shaun. I mean, if he used to be the shot before where he's broke the red out, if he used to be ultra critical, you could perhaps say there was maybe a little lack of care. But I mean, the shot he's followed up with is just really good. Just got to control this nicely. Oh, he's in off. He's in
No.
off.
Oh, do you know what? I thought it was going to hang there then.
I don't think he felt that was ever going to go close, but
No, I must admit I thought that was just going to hang there and he'll have a shot into the middle with the other red. But wow.
I mentioned earlier there was a couple of shots both players have played where they got a bit more out of the cue ball than they expected, and I think that's another example there, because Shaun didn't need to be he had quite a big margin to land shy of being straight on that red, because he always had the option to leave the black into the corner. But to go near the middle is really quite careless at this level, really, and Shaun would be the first to tell you that. And Tom, it's just second nature for Tom, isn't it? Get the cue out, clear up a few times, put it back, have something to eat, do it again in an hour. Just had a message from one of his friends, Dwayne, who's on the way down to pick him up because he's got no car. I hope Tom's giving you a cut of the winnings, Dwayne, for going out of your way for him. I think we both know the answer to that, though.
Indeed. Just going to bring the cue ball back here. Yellow in the middle, just run through. Give himself a little straight pot into that top right hand corner. And this will be a 3-frame lead, and starting to pull away a bit.
Have you ever seen Tom get annoyed on a pool table?
No.
No, I don't think I have either.
Tom doesn't get annoyed on a pool table. Tom doesn't seem to get annoyed. To be fair, he's a pretty laid back guy. And he goes to black. Cousins now 5-2 in front against Shaun Chipperfield.
And the similar thing with Shaun here, he could, 5-2, you're staring down the barrel, but in a couple of minutes' time, it could have been level, but... this is...
Look at the reds.
Yeah, and... be interested to see what Tom plays first shot here, because...
I'm going to guess at a red.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be red. But if he was to play the red right on the blue spot now, I think then the pattern is just dot to dot to dot. Because that red, for me, I feel it's a little bit of a nuisance. Because you can pot the red in the corner, right middle, top right, top left, left middle, run down, red in the bottom right for the 8 ball. But he might make sure of his red first, which...
I think I would.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing here, and I'll tell you why. Because he's going to pot the red and then play the red in the corner, like I said. Then it's right middle, and then he just drops the red in, and he's got a better angle on the red to the left middle to run
Absolutely.
down. And that's why Tom's there and I'm here. There's me trying to play a big shot first poke, and Tom's just going to drop him in like a normal person.
Yeah, but you generally get him, Tom.
I don't know about that. Occasionally.
Occasionally.
Once every 10 events, I pop up in a quarterfinal or something.
It'll happen, mate.
Hopefully
Sooner
tomorrow.
rather than later, I'll be sat here and you'll be out there in the final.
Hopefully tomorrow.
There you are, see. Still there, aren't you?
Still there somehow.
Who are you playing tomorrow?
I believe it's Cormac Kerr.
Okay.
Yeah. He upset me last event. He beat me 7-6, and he just outbroke me. He probably made an error more than me in the match.
I think Mellon's one to avoid at the moment, the way he's been playing. And
he's beating people up for fun at the moment, isn't he?
And the breaks are coming out for him at the moment.
I saw his game with Callum Singleton. I felt Callum
He was 2-1 down, wasn't he?
Early doors. Did you commentate on that match?
No, I didn't. I saw the scoreline. I was just, to be fair, I was on the commentary the game after in here, after the Mellon game. So I just went into my bathroom, and it was 2-1 to Callum Singleton. I thought, well, I've got a bit of time yet. When I came out, it was 5-2 to Chris Mellon. I thought,
well, I had the stream on, and Chris had broke down on the black. Callum had 3 reds left and opened the balls up, and I looked back and it was 2-all. I don't know how. I was going to see if you knew how Callum lost that frame, but I didn't see.
Yeah, when he starts that stuff running around the table. Anyway, that's for the next event. We'll concentrate on event number 3. And Cousins now has a 6-2 lead, and it's starting to look a lot like Christmas.
Yeah, and at this point,
for Tom.
Tom's not made an error in the match. Shaun would need help off Tom to get back into the match, but at this point, if it goes 8-7, say, he's going to have another 3 or 4 breaks.
Cue
You
ball.
just can't see him not getting a chance.
Well, he's returned the compliment. A wry smile there from Cousins.
Just been told by Shaun Story that Callum went off the 8 ball for 2-all against Mellin this afternoon, so could have been a very different situation. Now, these have to go for Chippy, and I think both those yellows nearest the cue ball both pass into the right centre, and if they do, you would expect they definitely do because of the shot he's played there. He's going to land halfway up the cushion with the cue ball. Oh, it's just trapped on him a little bit. It's a little bit awkward. I wonder if he can just run the cue ball and flick the red away. So pot the bottom yellow of the 2 and just flick the red away and be on the yellow to the other bottom right as we look. It's the only danger with that. He doesn't want to push that red up and block the yellow to the left centre either. He's digging deep. Never seen him play a loop bridge before.
Oh.
I think he's just eyeing up the shot. It looks quite natural to me, but he must be catching the yellow. That's why he's not playing it.
Well. Work to be done for Shaun Chipperfield.
Yeah, I think he can top through the red here, and the cue ball will run up, pot the yellow, and the only thing is the cueing's so awkward. See where he's looking to aim. So he's going to pot this with top with a bit of power. Oh, it's awkward cueing.
Well, he played it and it caught the other yellows. You could see him went in off into that middle, but
He's in a world of bother here.
yeah, I mean,
There is a...
you've got to pump this around the angle with a load of side, but we're talking in like to get on that ball.
There is a gap.
1 in 75.
4 cushions. Oh, he's played the double and spin around. Look at the cue ball though. If it had gone in, he'd give himself half a shot.
Well, played a loss of turn instead.
So it's not.
It's not. I mean,
It's not the end of the world.
can Tom get to the long red up into the top right hand corner? Or would he try and play this one at the bottom row? Load the left hand side because he don't want to come straight at the table in case he did miss it and leave
Well, could he
the yellows for Shaun.
pot it and come up the spots and land around the brown spot?
That's where you'd want to
As
go.
a bit of a free go at this red.
Yeah.
I think that's what he'll aim for. You see he's come up. Oh. Well, he's
But he played that very bravely
Yeah, that's definitely...
because you could have played with the shot that you just suggested, and if you missed it, you weren't leaving anything. If he missed that, he was leaving Chippy game up.
That's definitely a 6-2 up, and I've won every comp going for the last 2 years
Yeah.
shot. No, it's the brave shot, which you expect nothing less from someone
Yep.
of...
Starting to look like Cousins is heading for the title. Still got to get to 8 frames, of course, but this is now looking like 7-2. Unless his arm falls off.
Yeah, I can't see that.
No, it looks firmly attached to his body still. No mistakes from Cousins, but 1 or 2 have crept in for Shaun Chipperfield, and that's the difference. The in off the break, the little in off in the middle, and then falling short on those yellows, and now Cousins is on the hill. 7-2 against Shaun Chipperfield.
It's got red, so...
Well, he's made a ball.
They didn't really explode there, did they? It's
No.
sort of-
Where'd you go here, Dom?
I think it's probably got to be reds, but... You haven't... I'm saying that, I don't think yellows are too bad. If you can flick this one in
I
the
think I
middle-
prefer yellows just for the sake of the 2 at the bottom of the right hand side of the table. Just making that first pot, which is
I think
it's a cut into the middle, isn't
if you
it?
can flick it in the middle and land straight on the yellow to the right centre, sorry, on the rail, and then play the one into the. When he pots this in the corner, he'd be able to float down to the red on the left cushion, which leaves him the yellow. So if he lands somewhere between the yellow and the cue ball now, for his next shot, he can play the yellow to the right centre as we look, and just come underneath the 8 ball, and just sit on the red. He'll be on the yellow to the right centre. He looks like he's got a bit much into that, but he might have had other ideas. He might be looking to leave them two till last, which is in the gap.
I think he is in the gap. The black should pass between those two reds into this bottom corner.
Is he a bit straight? He'd like to probably get on the yellow beneath the black and the red ball next. He might be able to leave it straight into the top corner. Nope. He's going to leave the 2 there, I think. Or is he going to... So he's going to pot the one along the bottom cushion. A bit... I can't really call his shots. He sees it very, very different.
Well,
I thought he could have left the cue ball somewhere in the line of sort of the right centre just to float across for the yellow into... You could play the yellow and the 8 ball and both in the right centre if you wanted, but he's got to land the right side of this yellow, and that's...
I think that looks pretty good. He can just play this at a bit of right hand side and shunt the red out of the way of the black, like so.
And Shaun
And down she goes.
keeps himself in it, 7-3. And if he...
Well, he went for the cut break. He's flown the ball in.
I think he'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, he wasn't playing the cut break early, was he?
No, he... I remember first I seen him play the cut break a good few years ago against Phil Harrison, and it was on a different cloth, which was quite a bit slower than this one, and I've never hit a front break as hard as he hit that cut break, and it was like a shotgun had gone off when he hit it, and the balls looked scared. He potted about 6 of them, and he just had to dob them in. It was
You see, I've tried it, and because I like to hit the ball hard, and I just get the cue ball off the table.
Yeah, there is, to be fair, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the cut break, and I do think you should have to hit the front ball, but there is a skill to it, and
You and Mr. Melling.
I think quite a lot of players...
Actually, Rob Warwick actually said that as well today.
It's a little bit of a... I mean, it's ironic that I'm about to say it's a cop-out, and you've got the best breaker in the game opting to cut break. Maybe, for me, I'd say arguably, and this is a big statement, the second best breaker in the game in Tom, because I do think my old mate Luke has got the best break in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he's right up there, and he probably don't get... I mean, it's getting recognised because he's running deep in a lot of comps now, but...
Well, he won Pro Series event 2.
Yeah, and certainly... I don't think anyone hits it as hard as Tom, but...
Well,
no one gets the layouts Luke gets.
this is now looking... Well, it's about to say all over. He wanted another couple of inches there. Can he hold for these 2 yellows?
I think so, yeah.
You play a little bit
But
of left-hand side and just sort of get a spin to try and kill the cue ball.
Do you think the 8 ball goes underneath the red, or is he going to play it cushion off the back of the red?
I'd have thought Tom must have already looked at that. There you see the side in. We're now 3 balls away from the title for Tom Cousins.
I have to say, should he get the finish, it's been a fantastic performance from Tom. He's not put a foot wrong.
No, it's been faultless.
Shaun's made a couple of errors, but Tom just doesn't look like missing, does he? Just fantastic performance once again, and see the 8 ball didn't go, so he's played a great shot there, and this is it for the title, ladies and gents. Tom's about to take home his 784 millionth title of his career.
Well, it'll be the first one this season in the Pro Series. He didn't win the first 2.
No, he did win the British Open, didn't he?
Yep. Great shot there from Cousins, and this black ball now for the title.
And what a performance.
Brilliant. In it goes.
Well played, Tom Cousins.
Tom Cousins defeats Shaun Chipperfield 8 frames to 3. He is Pro Series Event 3 champion.
Your champion, Tom Cousins.